to get out of that and make him so that no one could touch him because his daughter was killed.
Yeah, and also because it was at their house as well. So I think that was like the big shoo-ah that, these people actually came to my house and did it.
Yeah. Man, and Alexis didn't even see it coming. And Val's such a maniac, she doesn't care. It's interesting.
Oh, no. Yeah, she's on another planet.
You can tell that Beverly's new to the group, and she's seen some things, but she hasn't been part of this form of maybe brainwashing for that long or orientation into the cult.
Yeah, she's pretty new.
Yeah, Val's a maniac. Val's the evil one here. When he gets stabbed, she is just laughing so hard about that, and then she just, I don't know. I love her reaction to him. She's just a little maniac. It just makes me happy.
Yeah, she's like the rebel teenager. I feel like Alexis is like the poster child for brainwashing, for cult brainwashing. And Val is just rebel. I don't even think Val necessarily buys into this crap much. Not like Alexis. I don't. I think she'll just do anything for a kick. Literally. She's like the pure rebel, teenager.
That's a great point.
Whereas, Beverly is definitely the more troubled one, and has probably seen more than these other two country girls have ever. So
she's the person
I really like the characters, but also I did giggle because we do have the trope of 3 girls find 3 boys at the concert that kind of match their personalities type thing trope. I mean, it worked. It's fine. It's just it was funny, the observation. Oh, 3. Not 4 guys, 3 guys. Oh, and they kind of complement or match our personalities. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, what if it was 6 people in that van?
They would they have bailed? Would they have still?
Oh, yeah, they wouldn't have done that, right? They probably would have gone for 1, right? Or 2? This mission was not thought through, so it's clear that Knoxville gave her no direction, it seems like. Or, I'm sorry, John Henry Butler gave her no direction. He just knew she'd be reckless, and then that would end badly. Man, that's horrible.
I mean, the only thing they knew was, that it had to be more than 1 person because they needed to stage it these people did murder-suicide, because that's the satanic ritual. It's a murder-suicide thing.
Yeah.
So, you'd need at least 2 people. But, I wonder, because I don't know. I think Val would have been 6. Yeah, I could take them.
Yeah. She would have. She's the type of person who uses she's the protester who starts the riot, pretty much. Yeah. She'll use anything to, what are we doing? Okay, cool. What's the reason? Fine. I'll say that's the reason. Let's go cause chaos. Oh,
exactly. Man. And in a way, Alexis too, just because, they both, they have this invincible thing going on, and Alexis is such a strong believer that she'll probably think she can take on 100 people and God will save her or whatever.
Until a sheet pan meets her face.
Listen, I love a fight with kitchen equipment.
Yeah,
I love it.
That bonk is hilarious. Both Val and Alexis get bonked.
I love it. I love it that they do it twice. I laugh every time in that scene. But also on that note, Mark, can we count the weapons used in this movie? Because it really is something. And it works so well because you've got this situation that gets out of control. Of course they're going to use anything they can. I mean, we've got the knives at first. Actually, we've got the drugs, actually, technically. I also love that, it's that whole thing. They kind of play into it when the boys realize, that they got drugged. And the one is like, if you guys wanted sex, you should have just told us. It would have been you don't have to drug us for it. And I was like, yeah, if a man drugs you, it's for sex. If a woman drugs you, it's because she wants to murder you.
They were laughing at him. Val just started laughing at him, right? He's like,
she
really?
Was giddy, absolute glee on that little girl's face. Oh my word. But yeah, so we've got the drugs, so we've got the knives, we've got a gun in there when the cop comes. Now we've got a gun in there.
Bottles, wine bottles.
Broken beer bottle in the back for Bev. What's that grass cutter thing?
Oh, the motor that she had, the boat motor.
Is it a boat motor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she grabbed it from the boat.
Of course. Okay. I was like, what weird grass cutter thing is it?
Why are you sneaking? That's hard to sneak up on people on that thing, right? I'm going to sneak up on somebody with a boat motor. That's a tough weapon right
impressive. There. Bev looked pretty hardcore with that boat motor. We've got a boat motor. We've got a lighter. we've got the car eating, like, they're in the end, like, oh, it's just like all the weapons of murder. It's amazing. It's a list.
Watching Alexis and Val cheer as they spray the poison in the room or the fire and just the smiles on their faces, fire in the hole, just having the time of their lives. They don't even know what they're into, though. That's the crazy thing. Like, it's interesting when things get real for Alexis. She sort of, I mean, she keeps going, but she kind of falls apart.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. You have that, it's like, in fighting, you're an undefeated fighter and you think you could take on the world. And it's like, how do you react when you get your first loss? Or how do you react when you start losing?
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting watching them all, because you're right. They all think they're invincible because they're young and dumb, or not young and dumb, but just young and inexperienced. So it's not, all that just makes me, we watch so many heavy movies. So just watching We Summon the Darkness, and the poster looks very serious. When I watched this movie, I had never seen a trailer. I thought it was just a really dark, We Summon the Darkness type film.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be serious. Like,
and then it's just funny. And
it's funny, it's fun, it's delightful.
Yeah, and Kovacs just won't die, and that makes me happy.
Listen, props to Kovacs. He might be, like, he joins the list of characters that really stuck in there for a very long time while bleeding profusely from a freaking, like, major artery. Like, well done. Like, it was kind of sad when that happened to him, because I was like, man, he fought so hard.
Yeah, he tried, right?
He really did.
And it hurt when they had to leave him when he's laying at the door after being shot. After being shot, he crawled in there. Or maybe Knoxville brought him in there. But I just really liked, I don't know, Kovacs grew on me. I mean, Mark, I guess they don't give him much to do, but he's still a survivor. Like, the acting was good. I like the kid. Oh, I gotta tell you something. So the director on the commentary, he was talking about filming this. They filmed in 16 days, and the cinematographer on the film walked up to him and was like, listen, man, I've done a lot of movies. So the cinematographer, her name is her name is Taryn Anderson, and she walked up to the director and was like, I've worked on a lot of these movies, and normally when there's a young cast, they're always like partying or hooking up with each other. And she said it was the first time that none of the cast members did that. They just showed up. Everyone knew their lines. Everyone was super professional. I was listening to Daddario talk about it on the behind the scenes documentary, and she tried to play it as like a controlled child who had dealt with abuse. And Val was funny because she just loved it. Or I'm sorry, the Maddie Hansen was happy because she's like, I'm just a maniac and I'm just horrible at killing people. And it was fun to play. And just, they all seem to really understand their characters. And I just loved hearing that, where they were really impressed with the fact that the actors showed up on time and knew their lines and were super professional.
I mean, that is so cool because, apart from Johnny Knoxville and Alexandra Daddario, like, those two are probably Johnny's the most famous person of all these.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Alex, I've only actually seen her in Baywatch. I haven't seen her other movies, but I also know, like, she's not this big star. What I'm trying to say is, like, a lot of these actors, they're not these big names and stuff. So to hear them take it so seriously is very, very cool, because kudos to all of them. They did a great job. I really enjoyed it. But also on that note, how much does, like, Kian Johnson look like Joseph Gordon-Levitt? I feel like he can play his brother in something.
Ooh,
just putting it out there. Putting it out there.
He could be.
I always love doing that with actors. Like, who can play whose sibling?
He's in Alita too, like Kian Johnson.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he's the kid who Alita falls for.
Of course it is. Oh my word. I missed him.
Yeah.
Oh my word. Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Alita,
he looks like Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Alita came out in 2019, and doesn't it feel like it came out about 8 years ago? 2019 feels so long ago.
Dude, yeah. Oh my word. Let's not talk about that, though.
And I just want to say...
That's a different podcast.
And another thing, Logan Miller, who plays Kovacs, is in a movie called... whatever. We have our explicit rating. He's in a movie called Shithouse that came out last year. $15,000 budget. It's about this kid who goes to high school, has kind of an interesting night with his RA. He meets her, and they have a turtle adventure, and then he's the type of kid who goes to college and doesn't go out at all. He goes and grabs his food, goes back to his room, calls his parents every day, just hasn't lived it. And then it's just him kind of coming to grips with just being away and making himself more comfortable and building a life. It's a really good movie. $15,000. I really enjoyed it. I really, really liked it. But Kovacs was in it, Logan Miller, and he plays the relationship between him and the other kid in Shithouse. They're so funny. They don't like each other, and the way they talk to each other is so weird. But I like Logan Miller. That was my long way of saying. I think he's an interesting actor. So I liked all the choices.
Nice. I remember you actually told me about this movie, and I still haven't watched it. I remember you talked about Shithouse last year when we did our like favorite horror movies and stuff, and you were like going on about this one, and actually put it on my list, but then forgot about it because, wow, I wish I could not work and just watch movies all day. Wouldn't that be great? Then like do a pod every day. Like that's our work. Like every day we just like chat about a movie.
Send me money,
and that's
please.
Life. That's amazing. That would be amazing. That's the dream.
But I guess it made me like this movie more now, knowing that they shot in 16 days. The process
That's
trailer,
amazing, yeah.
the process trailer that they had to put the car on in the beginning because they had a road broke down the first day, so they had to pivot. So I mean, that's kind of a lost day. And then they sort of had to deal with a few weather. They were supposed to shoot outside again, so after the concert they were going to go outside to the parking lot again, but the weather was bad. And the director remembered some advice he got from Roger Corman, which is wild, where he's like, never repeat a location. So they shot in that little hallway area after the concert to give a new location. So they had issues on there. They had a lot of, weather and night shoots and yada, yada, yada. And it was really cold because they shot in Canada. But 16 days to come out like this. They were always shooting. Like, always shooting. But it's still cool that... okay, this sounds bad, but I admire these people more for being professional. That's odd. I don't know. You can see it in the movie, is what I'm saying.
Nah, but yeah, listen, me too. I just like... I think it's like one of those things also... You're grateful to have a job so you don't mess it up. You know, like you take it seriously because you're getting paid a lot of money to do it anyways. So like you don't come and muck around like it's your playground, you know? I don't know. But maybe that's just like how we feel about being professional and stuff. So yeah, that makes me happy too, to hear all these good stuff, you know, being said about these young actors that really did a good job. Like, but I mean, yeah, how much fun. I think they also had like a lot of fun on set because just if you look at the situations they were in, I mean, I would have loved to act in this movie.
Yeah.
I think Val is one of the like funnest characters any like actress can ever do. Like, but even like I would do any of those three girls anyways. Like, you know, I think because it looks like a pretty fun project to do. Like, I think you get a lot of satisfaction out of doing something like this. And again, kudos to them because they executed it pretty well.
I did just check, and Daddario did produce this movie. She's one of the 36 listed producers on the film.
Yes, my girl.
So that's cool. You know, you, when you're a producer, you definitely take it a little bit more seriously because your name's on that. And I gotta say, we keep talking about Val, but props to Maddie Hassan because I was thinking about this. As a director, it's kind of good to hire younger actors because they can keep their energy up. I mean, you're shooting nights and days, and the amount of energy she had to keep up for this role. Because that's, you know, and you and I have both been on a lot of film sets. We've worked on film sets. You've acted. It's hard to keep that energy up. And I think these young kids did a good job of that. But Val was on a whole nother planet. So kudos to Maddie for just being, I don't know. Just having people and having
on.
Yeah.
She was like always on. And I mean, but even like, listen, Alexandra Daddario with those eyes, like, she really, those eyes popped. Oh my word, she had, listen, Val is like the maniac, but Alex like did the whole crazy eye thing.
Yeah.
It was really, and like Beverly with the intenseness, she really sold it. I think, you know, like, I think for a lot of like girls, she's probably the most relatable teenager. But you can also like, you can relate with Val's, especially Val's sexuality, like that being a teenage girl and stuff. Alexis being a little bit of a control freak. And then, but Bev, like having almost a normalcy in the group.
Yeah.
Like, and I love the dynamics of these three characters together. Like, I mean, the character work in this movie was really good. It was subtle, but it was there and it worked. It's why we like it. It worked. We got it.
When Val murders that cop, oh man. And then cold-blooded.
In cold blood, dude. That's why I say those two would have done it anyway. If Ivan didn't go off on Alexis, they would have, no, cold-blooded, to psychosis.
And I love it when that cop walks in and sees the chaos and how shook he is by it. I'm like, I like this guy because he just saw some horrible things. I've never seen that on film where someone looks at this mutant that came from space and they're like, I'll just keep eating my